What's up, everybody? So welcome back to my channel, Green Man Grow 7, and today I want to come today to talk about this beauty right here, the Thai Constellation Monstera. Now I have to give you a backstory. This, if you can see, I'll take this out. This is in perlite. I received this as a cutting that just had one little aerial root. I'm going to insert a picture of that now and show you what I have here. So I'm going to pot it up today, but I want to tell you this is my third Thai Constellation. The other two that I purchased as cuttings rotted and died, but this one has made it. And so I don't know if you can see roots growing. So I'm very happy about it. I'm going to take this out, and I'm actually going to see if I can, there we go. Look at there. We got roots. We got roots, we got roots. And so they're looking pretty good too. So I'm going to pot it up today. Let me put this to the side for right now. And I'm going to show you aeroid mix for my Thai Constellation. But this is the perlite, because I propagate in perlite. I don't propagate in sphagnum moss. I use sphagnum moss if I'm sending a plant to someone, but I use perlite to propagate because I have better success. Since the plant rooted in this medium, and since the plant was used to this medium, and we use perlite to aerate our soil medium, I'm going to just pour this in here because it was used to that, right? And that's the ecosystem that it was used to. So my thinking is that this is going to help make it better for it migrating to being outside, because this was in a prop box. And so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm just mixing this in here. And this is some cocoa coir, some bark, coconut husk, and now my perlite. And so I'm just going to keep mixing this up. And so, you know, you take a chance when you purchase these plants and you want them to root up. But look at that. I get what I paid for. And, you know, they're not cheap. And when you have these plants that grow a certain way, and when you have these plants that require a certain thing, you know, it can be discouraging when you spend your money, but you take a chance, you know. And so in taking a chance on these cuttings, you never know what you're going to get. You don't know if through the shipping, if it's going to migrate through it being in a prop box. Like this one was in a prop box. I had this in a prop box for at least 2 months because I wanted to make sure that I got rooting. But then since it's rooted, that's not the biggest challenge. Now that this was in a prop box and it was in there rooting, I have to make sure that now I'm giving it enough humidity. So I'm going to put this next to a humidifier and let it just keep getting that humidification until it says, you know what, I'm doing all right outside of that box, because in that box it was getting enough humidity. What you think? You think that's good? And see, my hoping is that, add a little more right here. My hoping is that now it will be able to thrive outside of the box. That's going to be the biggest challenge. Getting it to root was the first challenge. The second challenge is to make sure that it has what it needs so that it can sustain itself outside of that box. And since within the parameters of that plastic propagation box, there was a contained humidity, I need to ensure that, forgive me, I have my windows open. I wasn't going to close the windows. I mean, it's raining here in Chicago. I was getting a nice breeze. So if you hear outside noise, that's what it is. But trying to get this to sustain itself outside is the next challenge, because a lot of people get their cuttings to root, but then after coming out of the propagation bag, the box or a tent or whatever it is, trying to get it to sustain itself so that it can then thrive is the next challenge. So if you're a praying person, say a prayer for a brother, because this was not cheap and I want this to grow. That's why I purchased it, because I love the look of it. I wanted to take up space, as I often say, within the confines of my loft, but I wanted to grow and do well. And so, I just hope it will. The Thai Constellation Monstera, a cutting that had no roots on it, that I got to root. Now let's see if I can get it to sustain itself. Peace. Okay, everybody, so I know that I ended the video, but I wanted to come back to show you, since I have taken the Thai Constellation out of its propagation box, I've now potted it up in the medium. I've watered it and given it some nutrients, because it's going to need those nutrients to help it to establish itself. And I've placed it next to this humidifier in this portion of the loft, so that it is receiving that humidity, so that it can thrive in the same way it was doing within the propagation box. So again, wishing for the best. Wish me well. Thanks for watching. Peace.